It's your man Cat from the Barbershop Talk podcast. On the set of To This House, the King of Kings was born. And tonight our special guest is the lovely Alda Witherspoon. How you doing?
I'm well.
And she's actually the writer of the play And To This House, the King of Kings is born. So
every enemy shows himself not, nor is he nigh fortray. Hidden is he, and lies betwixt the door. More often not, one slides beneath the needle of the tapestry.
Ms. Alda, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Where you from?
I am a native Bostonian.
That's what I'm talking about. So, how did you come up in the arts? Like, what's your background in the arts?
So it started off at about the 6th grade. I took this test. The city of Boston put out this test to see what your propensity was in terms of your talents, if you're math or whatever. And I guess mine came out being arts. Mm-hmm. And so they put me on this track called a magnet track. And I went to this school called Mackey School down in the South End, where I literally started off singing and doing the arts all the way through college, all the way through my life, really.
Okay, so the Mackey School, is that like kind of like an art school?
Exactly. It was located in the South End. So in the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, middle school, I went to an art school, and then I matriculated to Madison Park High School, which was the new big art school at the time, down in Dudley. And this was before Boston Arts Academy, right? Okay. So I went to what they call the Roland Haynes Division of Music. And that's what we did. 90% of the day we were in the arts with piano and theory and singing and guitar lessons and drum lessons and trumpets and all kind of stuff. Yeah, it was really intense. I went on through Madison Park. I ended up studying classical voice at the University of Lowell.
Besides plays, you used to write poetry as well, right? Do you remember any of your old high school poems or anything like that?
That's a little rough. Although I do have it all written out. I used to have it memorized when I was going that circuit. But I do have this poem that I said for Terrell, and that was, she sat on her black bed, in her black mind, next to her black coat, which hung on the wall, and pondered, what? Her blackness. Her black man, her black mama, her black baby that lived in the back of her black mind, and the what-ifs began to rise out of the ashes which lay burnt, undisturbed to be confronted. I am love! Her confirmation rang, assuring her the connection, her oneness with the trees, the green, the brown, the earth, the breeze. Of paradise she began is the ground on which I stand, for green is the color of healing, renewing of money and energy. Brown is the earth, grounding, connection, reality, the fruit of her labor from which she reaped all that was sown and some that may seek, for apples grow from an apple tree. Remember to read the package before you plant the seed. But I did, she cried, only too late, as she began to dig up the roots that lay in her black backyard, thus ending, yet beginning, a new garden which she called, guess, her black mind.
Who's like some of your inspirations, coming
Definitely Maya Angelou, the Blackbird Sings. I mean, that was like one of the pinnacles, of course. Langston Hughes, I ride in his footsteps, because I went to the Elmer Lewis School of Fine Arts coming up, as part of my whole process. That was like the first play that I was ever in, and now I'm doing a nativity play of my own. So you never know, the seeds that get grown through, the experiences that children are, relating to.
You make me strong when I wanna be weak. You make me strong when I wanna be weak. You make me strong when I wanna be weak.
Tell me you went to Africa.
Man. Yeah. You gotta get on that plane, boy, or that boat, or that float, whatever it is. Go see the world, because it gives you experiences that you just can't get from TV.
Do you remember any experiences from Africa that just stand out to you?
I went into this temple in the Valley of the Kings. I felt this like energy, like waking my core up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was like I had been asleep all this time, and somehow, you know, it was like pins were put in me, and I just started like awakening or something. I mean, it was like my mind was blown. I don't think I've ever gotten over it since then. I got reprogrammed. It's like you almost have to go back there. And I don't care if you're black, you're white, you're orange, you're pink. It all started there. Another experience, I was in Aswan, right? And I walked into this pool. The pools still work, okay? Massive pools, I swear to God, as big as this Hibernian Hall. Pools where they would come and bask in the morning, you know, with their rituals and stuff, still work today. I'm telling you, dude, everybody on this planet has got to do. I mean, I saw other people around there. We were like, the media is so skewed. It's got people so afraid of going to the motherland that when we got there, the Arabs that are there, that are pretty much running the place now, they said, "Welcome home, brother." I was like, "What? Are you kidding?" Like, that was deep, right? And I saw a lot of Asian people there. I saw Caucasian people there. I didn't see very many people that look like me and you.
Hallowed be thy name. Hallowed be thy name. Yeah. Hallowed be thy name. Hallowed be thy name.
So why don't you tell people a little bit about the play and what to expect?
Okay, so it started a couple of years ago. My first lady at New Hope Baptist Church, Shereen Sims, asked me to write this little 30-minute presentation. The pastor was so enthralled with it. He said, "We got to take this to the stage. We got to take it to the public." So we put a committee together at church, and we talked to Hibernian Hall. At the time, it was Dylan Buston was here, and he decided, you know, let's give this a shot, you know. So we lifted it up, and it was amazing to see because Trinidad Ram Kassoon, who's directing right now, he was co-director last year. This year, he is the director. He has been shepherding us through this process this year, and now we have a real set made by Tony Cato. It's like amazing to kind of see this thing come alive, you know. We're working with a dance troupe out in Hyde Park, Joe May, with Lisa Chandler, Diamond Wood, and Joe Gonzalez. They're doing the choreography. So we have basically about 8 bigger dances, 5 smaller dances, and like 4 adults. So paired with, you know, the choir of about 10 people, you know, we have a fairly decent sized cast.
So this is a musical.
And,
you know, I've heard some of the singers actually rehearsing downstairs. Beautiful voices like yours.
Thank you.
What's the, like as far as casting, how do you go about casting? Because I know this is probably like a play where it's community based. Are you like recruiting people from the city to sing?
Absolutely. I think we probably do word of mouth more than anything else. You know, the folks that were in it last year, Naheem Garcia was like hugely instrumental.
I know preparation gotta be crazy. So you guys are here like every day rehearsing.
Right, every day something's happening. Whether it's dancing, it's singing, it's set design, it's set building, costumes going, you know. It's really intense. And then of course, you know, our music, John Kelly, he's our music director. Byron Pickett, he's my music producer. Kabaya Wright, out of Hyde Park, also Milton Wright. Betty Wrights, the R&B singer, that's her nephew. He is another music producer of ours. So we got a lot of people behind the scenes, you know, making this thing grow.
Okay, well, at the Barbershop Talk, we have a lot of people who watch, and, you know, not all of them are sanctified, not all of them are holy. So, you know, when we tell them this is called, you know, Into the House, the King of Kings was born, they probably thinking we talk about LeBron James. So why don't you tell the people exactly what the story is about, who it's about, and all that.
So, this story is interesting because although it is a biblically based story, it's not very preachy. There's lots and lots and lots of music, it goes from gospel to jazz to R&B to rap. I mean, it's got like a little bit of everything in it.
Nice.
It's kind of interesting because I'm not a rap writer, but I wrote a rap. I am a poet though.
I bet you got more bars than a bunch of people on the radio. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's how it is.
But mostly it's, like I said, you got to open yourself to, be a vessel, right? If you open your spirit to goodness to come in, goodness will come if you invite it.
Way down in the valley of the Lord, the light of God, it was glorious, glorious, glorious. It was glorious, glorious.
Here at the Barbershop Talk
Yes.
podcast, what we like to do, we call it the Barbershop Talk because, this is, at the barbershop, it's a place where you could be anybody but have the same conversation with someone that you might not have anything in common outside the barbershop. So I got some topics if you want to talk about them. You cool with that?
Absolutely.
Okay, so right now we're in the heart of Roxbury, and when we talk about Roxbury, one of the biggest subjects that come up is gentrification. So how do you feel about gentrification? Is it a thing, or like how do you feel about? I saw in the newspaper, finally, I mean, we've been screaming it for years, but finally the newspaper is recognizing that, rent is being skyrocketed and all that other stuff, and black people are being pushed out. How do you feel about that?
Well, one of the things I think is that we should have made some other decisions a long time ago, so that you own the building that you're sitting in and not, renting, because you're always subject to whoever, owns that and making decisions for your life, So you need to make your own decisions for yourself. Put some money away, people.
Yeah.
I mean, all this food we spend at McDonald's and buying Adidas and this and that and that and this. I mean, at the end of the day, those jokers of driving Mercedes and you're not.
Exactly.
You're leasing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that, different decisions need to be made. I'm thankful that I'm in the house that my mother and father bought. But in terms of gentrification, I mean, I like it visually. I like just the whole calmness of it. You got green trees going on. You got some, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I like what I see. It was how it was when I first grew up. I grew up in Leave It to Beaver. So again, we've been in this house 55 years, so I've seen it all.
Yeah, so you've seen the good,
the whole
you've seen
art,
the ugly, and then you've seen the good
whole
again.
thing. So now here it comes back again. And fortunately, like I said, we made some decisions, right? That I'll be there when it gets back to where it was when we first moved in, basically.
Now, I'm glad you said that because that was going to actually be my next question was, do we have any responsibility in being pushed out? Because I saw someone post up, he's a real estate agent or something like that. But, and it's a tough situation for him to be in because he's like, dang, I'm a black real estate agent, but, I'm watching like the blacks being pushed out of the areas that are basically like gold mines right now. So like his post was basically saying like we have to be more responsible, we have to own. I agree with that, we need to own. But it's hard, this is a situation where, like especially Roxbury is like so historic, as far as like African Americans, like this is the stomping grounds of Malcolm X. Malcolm X was from out here, Roxbury played a big part in his book. They played a big part in his life.
Right.
And then we have all these beautiful murals, we like this is us. And I wish we could stay, but at the end of the day, like you said, we need to own. My issue with it is why wait to start rebuilding the city? So my thing is like tropical foods. I remember tropical foods since I was a child.
Right. Hole in the ground, right?
Exactly. It was like a huge corner store.
Right. Basically.
Yeah. So when I saw them rebuild tropical foods, that's when I knew like, okay,
this is real.
This is real. Because my thing is, they could have rebuilt that back when it needed to be rebuilt. So it's like my issue is, if you know the demographic of people that's living in certain areas and you know how it's looking, the city could have been rebuilt, Tropical Foods. They could have been rebuilt Dudley while we was here. Why wait until we leaving to do it? Because it's like, and now you up in the police and all that other stuff. Are we not that important?
I think back again, you know, you have to go sit on these boards.
Yeah, we got to be a part of it. Yeah.
You gotta get your community groups together. They can't roll in here and do anything to you that you don't allow them to do. And if you're not at the table making decisions or demanding to be at the table to make decisions, then decisions get made for you. It's as simple as that. I don't feel sorry. I really don't.
That's real.
It's our fault. You know what I'm saying? We were here, had opportunity. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, so
we didn't see it coming. We thought we was gonna be here forever.
And nothing is forever, and you know that.
Yeah, and we know Roxbury is a great part of town because it's right there with downtown. I don't know. I feel like our generation, just to let y'all know, man, our generation, we got a lot of responsibility. We gotta change. We gotta change the future. And I'm talking about us 30-year-olds, even the 20-year-olds, 40-year-olds. It's up to us, man, to change the future. We got to start buying up. Let's buy back the hood. Let's make the hood the burbs. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it don't got to be the hood. We made it the hood, so let's make it the burbs. Let's buy back our own property. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, we don't have nobody else to blame. We got the internet. We got all forms of education. You can educate yourself. So go out there, educate yourself, know what you got to do. So let's change the future so that way we ain't got to worry about who's moving in and being pushed out.
Love. Pure, sweet love. And he guided me in love. And he transformed me in love. And he blessed me in love to a place where I now shine in blessed assurance. Because it's all he really wants for us. Love. Can I get a witness?
Amen.
I got one more topic I want to kind of pick your brain on. It's something I saw on the internet today. Like I said earlier, you know, melanin, big thing, you know, and there's power in melanin. Like, melanin is beautiful. Like, us melanated people, we're beautiful. But there's a big issue with this generation as far as people accepting their melanin. Woman like Black China, and then on the picture I saw, she's even like 3 shades lighter than her regular complexion because of that skin bleaching or skin lightening cream. How do you feel about the lightening cream? And first part of the question. The second, what do you feel led to, you know, this whole epidemic of people, you know, running away from melanin?
It depends on what society you live in, whether you know the color is a code. You know, it depends on where you live. But if it wasn't your color of your skin, it was the color of your hair. If it wasn't that, it's where you live. If it wasn't that, it was, you know, how much money you made. I think that people generally are always looking for delineations between the haves and the have-nots. You know, you live over here, so, you know, you got purple hair, you know what I'm saying? Or you live over here, you got blonde hair. I think there's always some grade, some shade of either money or social strata or skin complexion or, you know what I mean, or singing ability. I'm an actor, okay, so you're in the low level. I'm a singer, I'm in a higher level, okay, you're a sports person. You know what I'm saying? I think that it's a humanistic quality, unfortunately. But I also think that that we as a people have the ability, right, to get rid of all of that and create a oneness, right? First within yourself and with God, and then connect with other people who have a connection and a oneness with God and a stillness that creates a pyramid, you know, of love.
Now I agree. I completely agree. Like what you said, it's all about like the status or whatever.
Exactly.
And I feel like right now, especially in America, no, this is global. I feel like white, the color white, is the standard of success. Like, that's the symbol of success. And I feel like
it depends on where you are.
Where you are, well, the mindset.
This is what I'm trying to tell you, man. Because I travel, right? So it depends on where you are. That changes. You know, I mean, in some societies, the blacker you are, the more beautiful you are.
I want to go to that society. I know in DC has that. but I want to go to more places where they're embracing melanin, because I feel like we living in an era where like melanin is great. There's power in melanin. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like there's power, but I feel like we live in a society where people are running away from the melanin. Like people don't even want their children as melanated as they are. So my theory on that is, in America, in global, white is the standard of success, and the lighter you are, the closer you are to looking like that, the more confident you might be. To some people.
No, but see, I think that's an American illusion. I don't think that really holds out.
They're promoting that skin cream in Africa.
But I'm saying that that bounces from here over there.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a disease. You know what I'm saying? In other parts of the world, that's not real. Yeah. That's something that's being sold here on American TV and radio, and that's what I'm saying. You have to travel. You have to leave this place. You have to go to other places. You got to get some other realities that's not tainted and tarnished by a certain skew of people who promote, very narrow-minded thinking.
Yeah, because I feel like what's on the radio and what's on TV we see, what's the word I'm looking for? It's just like they throw out certain symbols, like you wouldn't notice it, but it's there, and like it's just like it's in your mind.
See,
now.
it's like what I was telling you when I went into that African temple. I was reprogrammed. Seriously, I'm trying to tell you something. I mean, literally, physically, and spiritually, and mentally, I was reprogrammed. So a lot of that stuff that I think was affecting me or influencing me, it doesn't affect me or influencing me anymore. And that's why I'm telling you, everybody should be going to that place called the motherland, that place called Africa, because it's not just me as an individual, it's everybody. I'm telling you, black, white, orange, purple. Your mind starts thinking very differently, you know what I'm saying, than what it did before. Those influences, it's like, bing!
Is there anything we could do, like anything as a people, like we could do to push us towards like loving ourselves more?
I think it has to do with meditation. Turning off that radio, turning off that cell phone.
Just shut down the outside world.
You gotta shut it down.
I like it.
You gotta shut it down.
Like
and get one. Get one.
Yeah.
Get with one.
Yeah, get with one.
You know better than me. I'm the one who's right, Ruth. He needs us. I tell you, he needs us. You know what the teachings say.
Whoa, stop that.
Hey, that's not the way.
And you, don't stoop below.
I tell you, Magus, he can't be trusted. Even if we do have to.
That's pretty much gonna wrap it up. But if you could tell the people a little bit more details about the play.
Yes. So back to business, right? So unto this house, the King of Kings is born here at Hibernian Hall, under the direction of Farai Williams here at the illustrious Roxbury Mecca of artists. I'm so proud of Madison Park Community Development Corporation for investing in us artists. We had found a home, and I am so grateful to be a part of that and part of this family. We have such a beautiful, illustrious cast here that's finding love second year here in a row in the Berry, and we're just so blessed and feeling love for being here.
And before we go, we have something in common.
What's that?
You kind of connected with being there. Right?
I've been on almost every show over there.
Okay.
Just talking about the various whatevers. Haywood Fennell is over there, and Boss Lady News is over there, and Downtown Brown is over there. I mean, But Steve Marks has been our TV producer since we started this, and they've been following us, since the start. So if you want to learn anything more about the program as well, you can get on bnntv.org, put in Unto This House in the cursor, and a whole bunch of stuff pops up about how we started through our pastor, some various artists that are on there. We have some really fabulous people. Yeah,
shout out to BNN. I definitely want to shout them out because
I appreciate that.
And BNN's been like, BNN's the reason why I'm doing this. Definitely want to thank you, Elder. This has been my pleasure.
Yes.
She's a very, 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 very talented lady. Y'all see what she's doing, and make sure y'all come out here and support, man, for real, because like this is the city right now. You know what I'm saying? The heart of Roxbury. Until this house, the King of Kings is born. Make sure y'all come and support. All right. Until next time, we'll holler. Make sure you like and subscribe us on YouTube. Make sure you follow us on IG at the Barbershop Talk _ and follow us on Facebook, the Barbershop Talk Podcast. Until next time. One.